Some men don't crave peace. They crave permission to stand above others and call it virtue. Friedrich Nietzsche gave them a myth, a mask, a philosophy sharp enough to bleed bystanders. The Übermensch, a man above morality, beyond guilt, capable of anything, because he decided it was right. This episode isn't entertainment. It's a warning. Trench Meditations File 012. The Übermensch doesn't bleed. The lie of power without sacrifice. We're talking about the kind of thinking that gets people killed, and then calls it greatness. If that makes you uncomfortable, good. It should. Call me Gage. Cole Braddock, historian of the Long War. The one your timeline ended, and mine never did. Soldier once. Archivist now. I don't study philosophy to sound smart. I study it because I've seen what happens when people use it as armor, or a weapon. I've watched ideas kill more efficiently than bullets, and I've carried the bodies. Nietzsche's Übermensch wasn't meant for people like me. It was written for men who wanted to be gods, without doing a single goddamn thing to earn it. If you're here for philosophy that flatters your ego, you took a wrong turn. But if you want truth, field-tested, mud-soaked, and unflinching, hit like, subscribe, and maybe share this with someone who thinks being exceptional means never saying sorry. Friedrich Nietzsche didn't just reject morality. He tried to flip it. What most traditions called good, humility, compassion, self-restraint, he called weakness, and what had been labeled evil, pride, strength, dominance, he recast as virtue. He called this the Revaluation of Values. Nietzsche, morality wasn't divine, it was human. And worse, it was reactive. He believed most moral systems came not from strength, but from resentment, from the weak, trying to shackle the strong. This is where master and slave morality enter. Master morality, he said, was born from nobility. Proud, bold, creative. Translation: I take what I want because I'm strong enough to take it. Slave morality was born from oppression. Cautious, obedient, bitter. Translation: please don't hurt me, and maybe if I'm good enough, you'll throw me scraps. Master creates values. The slave clings to them. He believed Europe, and Christianity in particular, had become infested with slave morality. A morality of fear, submission, and self-denial, dressed up as virtue, and he wanted it overthrown. In its place, he envisioned a new kind of man. One who didn't follow old rules. One who wrote them. That was the Übermensch, the overman. Not subject to morality, but the author of it. He didn't mean dictator. Not exactly. But the lines were never clear. When a philosophy praises pride, power, and will, without anchoring it to responsibility, bad men will always hear a green light. Want to see what this looks like when the rubber meets the road? Every dictator who ever lived thought he was rewriting the rules. Stalin, Hitler, Mao. All of them figured they were above good and evil. All of them thought they were creating something new. The only thing they created was a body count that'd make the devil tip his hat. Master morality. That's what he called it. I've seen it. A lieutenant once, West Point boy, smart as a whip, quoted philosophy while he sent good men into meat grinders. Called it necessary sacrifice for the greater good. Real Übermensch material, that one. Know what I called it? A goddamn hero. And you know what heroes are? They are men that get other men killed so they can have shiny pieces of metal pinned on their damn chests. You can dress it up in Latin, call it noble, quote it between wine sips, but it always looks the same in the field. A man with power, and no one to stop him. You call it strength. I call it an excuse. To think you're better than someone else and make them suffer for your gain, for your amusement. Sick. Makes me want to puke and clean my rifle. Because I've seen what happens when someone decides they're too good for rules. It always ends the same way. Someone else doing the bleeding. See, Nietzsche didn't just want to destroy morality. He wanted revenge on it. Every time someone chose mercy over might, he flinched. Every time someone gave instead of took, he called it weakness. But I've carried strong men out of burning buildings, and I've watched weak men pull triggers with no hesitation. So, forgive me if I don't buy this fairy tale about strength being right. Power without burden isn't strength. It's rot. You want to be above the rules? Try living by them first. Because real greatness isn't in dominance. It's in restraint, in sacrifice, in knowing exactly how much damage you could do, and choosing not to. But that's not what Nietzsche wanted. He wanted heroes with clean hands and bloody consequences. Übermensch doesn't bleed, remember? That's because he never does the dying. Other people do that for him. If you made it this far, congratulations. You survived a guided tour through the ego of a man who thought mercy was a flaw. If that gave you something to chew on, hit like, subscribe, and maybe share this with some mug who thinks being cruel makes him strong. Just don't expect a thank you card. Truth has a way of making people squirm. Let 'em squirm. Comfort is what gets good men killed. Nietzsche dreamed of men who stood above the world. Untouched, untouchable. But the world doesn't work like that. If you don't bleed, you're not a god. You're just not doing the hard part. And someone else is paying the price. Here's what old Friedrich never cottoned to. You don't get to stand above the world without standing on someone's back. And that back belongs to some poor bastard who bled for something bigger than himself. That ain't weakness, friend. That's what real strength looks like when it's not posing for pictures. In our next file, we're not looking up. We're looking down. At the last man. The soft, comfortable ghost Nietzsche feared more than death. Because once you strip away the myth, all that power leaves behind is ash. Let's remember together.